Welcome back to Shadow Man Remastered. We're about to head into the next part of the Asylum, the Cageways.
And deeper still, the morbid mystery entwines. What love I ever had for life should find its place in here, locked within a cankered cell, beset by madmen, chained to hell. And deeper still, a vast, dark love I find within Asylum's darkly thrumming heart. No love of mine, not mine to love, for twisted is the purity of that finer thing, and I should lay my partly living down to free the world from terror's tyranny.
Earlier on, we did go into the Asylum through the front door in the gateway, but there is another entrance that we're going to enter through here. You know, even though the front door was locked, there's a bunch of other ways you can get in. Have we looked at these before, by the way, these drums? Not sure if we had. There were some in the Marrow Gates, but sometimes we'll encounter these drums and a locked door. You can barely see what's behind that. We can't open the door right now. Eventually, we'll get the tool we need to bang the drums and open the door. And then when we do that, we'll have to remember where we saw these drums so we can backtrack and open them up. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. It's another thing to remember, to come back to once we get the proper tool. That is one shiny ceiling. It's all glistening with mucus. You know, I don't think I've mentioned it, but I don't think the texture of Deadside is supposed to be all rocks. I think a lot of it is supposed to be like a fleshy material, torn and cut. It's more easier to see up there. It's like, has like a mucusy sheen on it. Kind of hard to tell, I guess, in an N64 game. And here's these. We know what these are. And we have the tool we need to open them up. Whenever we see doors like these, it'll probably just be like a cadeau or two that might be in there. It's never going to be anything that important. But we might as well open them up. And here is like an outdoor holding cell, I think, for peoples. Peoples that have been captured to be moved into the Asylum. That seems to be what the Cageways is for. The Cageways seems to be about transportation. Evil transportation. Whereas with the experimentation rooms were about evil science. This is more of a practical wing of the Asylum. This is how they move things into it. Like prisoners, which they will turn into meat piles, as they do. There is a line going above us, so we can climb our way out of the cell. Let's go up. And we find a train. Little tower right here. And a door over here. Well, let's check out the door first before we get on the train. Well, actually, not a door. It's a crate. Let's push that to the side. I don't think there are any mandatory flambeau doors in the game. None that you have to open. But since we have the flambeau, that means we can get some cadeau here and there. And down there, we can see the drums. So that's where we started out. Let's go back instead of dropping down there. The flambeau is a very powerful weapon, but as you can see, after you use it, it takes a couple of seconds for it to light up again. So you can't rapid fire it like you might be do the baton or Asan. Let's go into this tower. And we find a Dark Soul here, just hanging out. I guess the Cageways is maybe how they also transport the Dark Souls into the Asylum. And speaking of which, there are 11 in the Cageways. So here's our first one.
The Dark Souls are mine.
I guess they were going to load that Dark Soul up into the train over here and move it into the Asylum. You know, say what you will about the denizens of the Asylum. They are all for public transportation. Setting up a rail system. They've got big dreams. And to operate the train, well, we have what we need. The engineer's key. What do you think this train is powered by? I mean, you can see it blowing steam, but, you know, I don't think they have coal or anything like that in Deadside. It's probably powered by suffering. There's our teddy bear point. There's a sniper over there. Let's just get him before we do anything else. There we go. Alright, there are 4 ways we can go. There's a door that way. There's also a ledge that we can shimmy over to where we just killed that guy over there. There's a path this way on a pipe going over coals, and a rail car. The rail car will take us to a different area of the Asylum, so that's where we'll go last. First, let's get on the pipes. And try not to fall. We almost have 100 Cadeau again. It wasn't that long ago that we were at the Temple of Life and got a boost. We almost have that now. There's also like a little alcove right there. We can't make that jump. We'll have to come back later once we can walk on coals. Can't do it now. But what we can do is grab this. This place is called the Cageways, and one reason for that is that we frequently will see cages just kind of moving around on lines like this. I guess things could be transported in the cages, though these cages are empty. You just gotta watch out because they can push you off. Like that one coming this way. Might as well just get out of its way until it passes. Dark Soul just sitting around out here.
The Dark Souls are mine.
All right, there is another Dark Soul up there in that cage, but we can't get to that. And of course, we can't walk on coals. I'll just let that one pass by. Could have tried to make a running jump past it, but take the safe way. So there is another Dark Soul in this room. It's just that we have no way of actually getting to it right now. All right, let's go down this door next. Dark Soul just sitting out here for reasons.
The Dark Souls are mine.
These doors are locked, but there is a control panel over here. All we find in here are the usual cells where, you know, people are being hacked into meat piles. As they do. As they do. Don't know if you call it work or fun in the asylum, but maybe it's both. You know, they do say that when you enjoy your job, you never work a day in your life, and for a lot of the employees in the asylum, that's probably the case. Also, they're dead, so I mean, they're not alive. Move around and see who else we can shoot before doing anything. Now we do see there's a Dark Soul up there on that platform. We have to work our way around.
Great.
To see if we can get to it. There is a line here, but this cage is blocking our way. Oh, did someone just come in? Yeah, someone came in. Let's hit this switch. The Cageways is a good place to show off the remastered lighting and shadows. A lot of opportunities for the light to play off of the cages. As you can see, as that cage moves around. Actually, no, I don't want to climb that right now. What I want to do... Jump! There we go. Get on this pipe. I want to get to the other side of this cage. There we go.
Got it.
But I want to climb after this cage, and you can see there's a platform I'm going to be climbing over. Don't want to drop down before that cage comes back and knocks me off. There we go. This drop, a lot easier in the remastered version of the game, because you can look around. In the original one, you could not look around, so you just had to guess when you were over this platform. Little improvements like that are appreciated.
The Dark Souls are mine.
Okay, so that's 4 out of 11. 7 more to find. And there was a little door down here.
Got it.
Of course, they're making their meat columns as they do. Alright, there is a Dark Soul up in that cage, but we can't get to it from here. But there is a Dark Soul over there. And that one we can get to. This door's locked. Alright. Jump on these cages. And yeah, we can see these cages are full of just full of skin. They gotta transport some skin. That's that evil transportation I'm talking about.
The Dark Souls are mine.
Where are they moving the skin to? What's its purpose? Who can say? Who can glean the dark goals of the Asylum denizens? I mean, we know what the goal was of what they were doing in the experimentation room. Open up the Govie, get the Dark Souls within. Make the Demon Warriors, the true forms. Put the Dark Souls in, and you have immortal Demon Warriors. But what the main goal in the Cageways is I don't know, a little bit unclear. Alright, I think we've exhausted this path. Let's head back. To here. Now, let's jump on this ledge and shimmy over to the path that we have over here. Just some water. Some green water. I don't think there's anything hidden in it, because it's waist level. I don't think they could hide anything in it. Would have to be deeper than that. I think I can jump that from here. Well, maybe not from that. No, it has to be from this platform. Jump from here, probably. There we go. And now we have another 100 Cadeaux. So that means we'll be paying a visit to the Temple of Life once we're done here. Get our engineer's key. And that'll, move that little bridge over here so I can get to the other side. It's not the only place we can go, though. There is a locked door right here. And here we find something. Looks a little different than what we've been seeing. This doesn't look like the industrial area that we were just in. This is a chapel. But a chapel to what? Well, we'll find out in a second. Let's see what else we can find down here. Alright, well, we've seen this stained glass window before.
Hey, now that could be useful.
And we've seen this item before. It's our second retractor. So we found the first one in the experimentation rooms, and we used that to go to New York and meet Avery. But now that we have a second one, that does mean we can open up another one of those torsos and say hi to another of the serial killers. If we chose to do that. There was a... Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we saw this Dark Soul from the floor earlier. Now we have access to its cage, but before we try to make that jump... Let's unlock that. This comes out in a room that we've already been in, but this door was locked before. So now we can go between these two rooms. Which is good in case we don't make this jump and we fall. Which probably won't happen. So let's try it.
The Dark Souls are mine.
Alright, there we go. We've got 6 out of 11. 5 more somewhere. But I think that's all that we can get for the time being in the Cageways. Of course we'll be coming back, because of course we will. There are coals to be walked over once we can do so. Let's see, did I go down this way? No, barrel's here. But nothing we needed. Okay. So, there was one other path we could take back at the beginning of the Cageways. So let's head back there now. Yeah, that's where we were just up there before. We killed that one sniper. So previously we saw that there was a rail car when we left the train. Well, we've exhausted the other paths, so let's get on that rail car and see where it takes us. So we're in a new level. It's the engine block of the Asylum, and there are 15 Dark Souls here. We don't get a poetic intro from Mike for some reason. But this is an important part of the Asylum. It's actually the center of the Asylum.
It's you, bro?
This way, Mikey.
Luke!
Come on, Slowpoke.
Well, Mike heard the voice of his brother Luke. We've heard him mention him before, that Luke is dead, wandering somewhere in Deadside, and Mike feels guilty for his little brother's death. And we find, a drawing of Mike and Luke. I guess wearing blue jeans and no shirt is a Loa tradition. Well, you have the option of not wearing a shirt or just wearing an open, loose shirt. You know, you can go either way, but this is the tradition. And he also drew a Dark Soul here. Whoops. A wooden train. And drawings of the logos of the 5 serial killers, their symbols. Well, someone just went through that door.
Help me, Mikey.
Luke!
You gotta help me, Mikey. They're gonna hurt me.
It's okay, Luke. I'm here now. Stay there. I'm coming to get you.
I'm real scared, Mikey. You gotta help me. Please.
Luke! Come back! Luke!
Well, there's our teddy bear point. And there was Luke. We just saw him. He's scared and running away on the other side of this big engine. And we can't get through because of these big pistons going up and down. Somehow Luke got to the other side, but Mike can't. Now, back at the beginning of the game, when Legion was talking to Jack, Legion said that he wanted Jack to build for him a great dark engine at the heart of Asylum. Well, here it is. Here's the engine block. It's powered by, you know, evil. And this is what's powering the Asylum. Unfortunately, it's blocking Mike from reaching his brother on the other side. So we do have to see if we can do something about that. And here, we run into a dead end. Well, we have found the end of one of these pistons that goes up and down in the engine block. And over here, it labels it as, whoops, piston number 1. And we have these 3 control panels. The openings do look like things we would use the engineer's key for. They are. But we don't actually have any information as to what we would do with these. So if we tried using the key on it, we'd find that these purple columns can go up and down, Like, if I kept raising it up to number 5, and then, again, it would lower down to number 1. So there are 3 columns, and each column has 5 levels. Well, like I said, we don't have any information here, but the first time I played the game, I just tried raising each column to the top. So each one was on level 5. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing, but it seemed like a thing to do. And that stopped the piston. The other pistons are still moving, but piston number 1 has stopped. Turns out that by raising each of these columns up to its top position, that turns off piston number 1. That's not the case with all the pistons, just this one. This one has a very simple combination. But you can kind of see what we're going to have to do here. We've now got another goal. Our goal so far has been 1, to get all the Dark Souls. 2, to kill the 5 serial killers. But now something else has come up. There is something in here.
Great.
Now another goal is to shut off the engine so Mike can get to where Luke is, where we saw him on the other side of the engine. So here we are back here, and now with piston number 1 in its lowered position, we can jump over it. But piston number 2 is still in our way. We cannot jump over this. So each of the pistons has its own control room, just like piston number 1 that we just shut off. We have 5 more pistons to shut off, but we can't get to those control rooms from here. They're all in separated areas. So while we are able to shut off 1, it's gonna be a while before we can get to the control rooms for the 5 remaining pistons. So this is a long-term goal. It's not something we're gonna be doing right now. Well, all we can really say is that Mike is quite upset upon seeing Luke deep inside the asylum running away from something, and there's no way that we can actually reach him. Right now, we have 0 Dark Souls in the engine block. We did not encounter any, so there's plenty hiding around in here someplace that we have not been able to get to. But Mike doesn't really care about the Dark Souls right now. He's caring about his brother. Let's see if Nettie has anything to say about his brother.
Nettie, Luke's in the asylum. He was calling out to me. Nettie, he needs me to help him.
Hold on there, Mike. You can't be sure of anything you see or hear in that place. Try and stay focused on what you gotta do.
But he's my kid brother, Nettie.
Luke's dead. Try and get that through your stupid numbskull head. The evil's using you, can't you see that? Trying to weaken your resolve. Just get the Dark Souls and stop screwing around.
Ooh, that told me.
Get the hell out of here, Mike. We ain't got much time left.
Well, Nettie clearly doesn't think much about Mike's familial bonds with his brother. She just says, "You don't worry about that. Just keep your mind on the job." And yeah, it's an important job, but I don't know, Nettie's not showing a whole lot of empathy right here. Also, I don't really know what kind of argument that is to say that Luke's dead. Get that through your head. Well, yeah, of course he's dead. He couldn't be in the asylum if he wasn't dead, Nettie. Mike is not getting the support he needs right here. Let's see if he can get some support from Jaunty.
Slowpoke. 'Come on, Slowpoke. 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 'Come on. 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 'Come on.
What's up, Michael? You look like you've seen a ghost. Which I suppose is understandable, considering where we are.
Luke was in the asylum, Jonty. He was calling out for me. I don't know, but maybe I was just imagining it.
You know, as the bird said, there are more things in heaven and dead side than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Shakespeare said that?
Well, not exactly, but near enough.
I need to find out whether Luke's in there and why.
You do that, Michael. I wish I could help, honest I do, but, well, you know how it is.
Yeah, we do know how it is. Jaunty can't move from this place, and really isn't capable of helping out. Though at least he was willing to listen to Mike's concerns. Mike, of course, is very concerned about this now, getting his mind off the Dark Souls. But is it just a mind game, or is Luke actually in the asylum, and does he actually need help? It's going to be a while before Mike finds out, before he can turn off that engine. But what we can do right now, before we end this session, is head back to the Temple of Life.
Come on, Slowpoke.
Since now we have 100 more Cadeau.
These gifts I give to thee, O gracious Loa, O generous Loa, a spiritual trade for life beyond. The life force is strong within me.
Another notch gained. 3 more notches to get, so 300 more Cadeau to get before we max out our life meter. And Mike is going to take a little bit of a break right now as he considers what does he want to do next. There are a couple of things. One, we did get another retractor, so we could go back to the Cathedral of Pain and open up one of the torsos to just to see what another one of the serial killer's levels is like, and any items that we might be able to get there. Of course, Mike is still stopped from actually being able to kill the serial killers because he's only Mike in Deadside. He still needs to find the third L'Eclipse piece before he can remedy that. But he can pay Liveside a visit. The other thing we can do is we can, since we are, level 5 is it? Yeah, we are on level 5. That does mean that we can open up... we did open up the level 5 doors before, and we did find another path that we could go down, which will take us into another area of the asylum called the Playrooms, which is an ominous name for the asylum. So we're going to do one of those two things as we continue on with Shadow Man Remastered.